Hello my loves, it's great to be here with you again, and this is the first video of year 2021. Happy New Year everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you again right now in this video. Thank you so much for being a huge part of my life all last year. We have accomplished a lot, I know, because you wrote to me and you told me that you had a great big difference in the way you look and feel over the past year, and honestly nothing makes me happier than hearing this. So today I had a completely different video ready for you to publish as a first video of 2021, but as life has it, plans have changed, and I decided to share with you secrets from the book that will never be published. However, that made a huge big impact in my life. That's been a huge positive force and positive influence to my life, and I would love to share it with you because I know that author of that book, all he wanted to share it with people. So I will take liberty on myself to bring you a little part of that energy to you, and hopefully it's going to make your life better, just the way it made my life better. So if you're interested in this video, please stick with me till the end, because we're going to be feeling and thinking and analyzing and looking through to life through a different lens in this video. I want to take you back for about 1.5 years. Labor Day, rainy like crazy, and me and my husband's family, and that time he wasn't my fiance, he wasn't my husband yet, I decided to have a Labor Day weekend with kids and we prepared meat and everything, and we're going out, terrible rain, and I know that that day I was about to meet my husband's best friend. His name is Kenan, and my husband's boyfriend at the time spoke so much about him that I knew right away that I'm going to like him. So we came to the place of the picnic. He came out from the car, we started to talk, and the energy was so positive and so bright and so powerful in the same time that I knew that, okay, I have to trust I surely have to trust my husband when it comes to understanding entities and people's energy, because he was spot on. Now, of course, we are all different and we all respond to different people differently, but that energy catalysis was absolutely amazing, and we spoke for literally hours. During those hours of conversation, I've learned that Kenan happened to be a shaman, or he had a shamanic license, and we were already engaged and hoping to get married. Now, the fun fact about me, and if you have that fun fact about you, please let me know, because I'm so curious, because most of the times I know, I've heard from my friends, from the girls, that everybody, every girl dreams about her wedding day. Somehow it's in our DNA or something, where you look like a princess and you have a white dress and beautiful veil and you walk down the aisle, with your mom and dad, or just dad, however, whatever the culture is. I never had that. I never wanted to wear a white dress and a veil and go down the aisle. In fact, I had that much not interest in it that I never manifested it in my life. I have a couple of marriages, but that never happened. I always wanted, even as a little girl, to get married in a golden dress in a desert with big huge fire and a belly dancers. That was the picture in my mind of a perfect wedding for me. So you imagine, when Kenan told me that he was a shaman, I was like, whoa, you are exactly the person I was looking for, because we are going to get married and we need you. The pandemic wasn't around yet, and the plans were very bright for us. So Kenan during that time also told me that, told us actually, there was so many people, that he's writing a book about power of manifestation and power of changing the trajectory that your life takes, and that he would love to have me and Sinan is the name of my husband, to come over, and he will talk to us about it and read some chapters of the book. The book was about to be a workbook. So there were exercises that we were doing, we were about to do, and he would work us through it. Now, I completely believe in power of energy because I have experienced in my life both sides, positive and negative, and I know that the most important skill that we can learn as people in our life is to have a control of our emotion. No matter how you look through scientific level, that emotion creates your reality. And I truly believe the way to connect to God, to universal energy, whatever it is for you, is through emotion. It's not even through the words, it's through emotion. However, it's very difficult to navigate emotion. When you're sad, it's very difficult to all of a sudden become happy, right? But there are techniques to do it. And the whole book was dedicated to that very practice, techniques and a practical advice to be able to navigate your energetic field and therefore to change the trajectory of your life. And I will never be able to bring you the value of the book in full, but I will share with you what I have learned. And my husband, by the way, he is meditating 1.5 hours every morning right now. And let me tell you, that man been manifesting things like amazingly well. And even things that originally looked like they were not working in his favor ended up being the best thing in the long run that could ever happen to him. So it's his story. I'm not going to share his story with you. Maybe one day he will share it with you, but I'm talking as a witness to tell you that I am witnessing a great metamorphosis to the positive in the life of a guy who I see every day. Going back to my life and impact on me. So we started to visit Kenan, who lived in this beautiful Brooklyn apartment with a backyard. And he was absolutely the most gracious host and the person with the most positive, most engaging positive energy out there. And the funny thing is, we did all the exercises and everything that he told us, but what I've learned the most was actually from hanging out with him. Kenan and Sinan together catalyzed, Sinan is the name of my husband, Kenan is a friend. They catalyzed so beautifully. The energy together was so calming and relaxing and powerful. And I loved it so much. Oh my God. So one day, one of the things that I've learned, and I will tell you further what happened. One day, Kenan told us to bring sneakers because we're gonna go somewhere, we need to wear sneakers. So we used to go to his house and stay there for hours and going through the workbook, and he would give us a little lecture, and we would do a little exercises together, and then we would make the most delicious Turkish or sometimes we ordered Japanese food, and he made amazing spicy margaritas. And one day he said to wear sneakers. So we wore sneakers. Now, second fun fact about me, I'm a heel obsessed person. I love heels. I would wear heels. My grandmother actually literally died on heels at age 92. She wore them at home. But she was tiny. She was 5'2", and understand why she did it. I'm 5'7". I don't need heels. However, I love that feeling to be like up in the air almost. So he knew that about me, that I'm constantly towering on my heels. And he said to bring sneakers. We brought sneakers and we went out for a walk in, I think it was Williamsburg. It was Williamsburg. Yes, he lived in Williamsburg. And I have to tell you something very funny. I know there are like fans of Brooklyn out there. People love that borough, Brooklyn. Well, I was never one of them. I don't dislike it. I don't despise it. I don't actively hate it. I just never had any never had experienced any love toward that neighborhood. Now, do you know how we all feel different energetic attractions to different places? in the world, or even like in the same like town, the places that you're really attracted to, and you always wanna, like, something brings you there. And they're the places that you don't like so much. So Brooklyn was neutral to me. I never wanted to go there. It did nothing to me. I never disliked it either. It was okay. As we started to go and visit Kenan quite often, I started to warm up to Brooklyn, but still nothing spectacular. His apartment, I loved it. There was great energy in there. So we went for a walk in Brooklyn, and what happened that day, I witnessed a man who had such a strong energy, but he also was so much looking to get positive energy from the world, from every single minute of his life, from every single place that he's in, from every single situation. That walk was incredibly enchanting. And although Brooklyn is still not like my favorite place in the world, witnessing somebody enjoying so much existence in general was quite powerful. And we actually discussed about that later, that how much he enjoys everything. He knew everybody. We stopped in wine store, he knew people there. We went to grocery store, he knew people there. We stopped at the Turkish little store, at the flower market, and he took us by the bridge and by this factory, over sugar factory or something, Domino Sugar Factory Park. And he was so excited about every step that he took and every little landmark we went to, that you couldn't help but to enjoy it, because he would never give you a choice not to. So I learned that from him. I have this thing about me. I either engage with a place right away or I don't. I'm very energetically in tune. I have been fooled before by people, like I'm not that fantastic, but when it comes to places, I have some kind of sense that I either energetically right away accept the place and I love it, or I deny it and try never to show up there again. And usually it doesn't have any basis or reason behind it. What I've learned from the book that will never be published, and from the author of that book, you choose your energy and you choose how you want to respond. Not every time you have a choice to like something, you don't, and you don't have to force yourself either. But if you're going to deliberately pick your emotions and pick your connective energy to things, you're going to gain a lot. The lens through which you look at things is somewhat, not entirely, but somewhat up to you. So if you really go to some place and you feel uncomfortable there, then get out. But if you go somewhere and you feel neutral, you don't have any comfort or discomfort, try to start looking at things that could be appealing to you. Now, different things are appealing to different people. But if you're gonna in-tune yourself, if you're gonna try to teach yourself to look deliberately for the positive in life, your life will become very positive. And if you will be able, that's one more thing I've learned from him and from Sinan actually. If you will be able to bring that whirlpool of energy that's delicious and comfortable and delightful in yourself, that energy whirlpool is gonna attract the events that are going to be favorable to you. It's very interesting. I want to tell you, by the way, and share with you, I'm gonna get off the book subject right now and I'm gonna come back to it. Recently, just a few days ago, and I don't know if it was coincidental or it was deliberate manifestation of the universe, I love cartoons. Third fun fact about me, I adore cartoons. I love cartoons, probably more than real movies. And we saw this most adorable, I highly recommend cartoon named Soul. It's a Pixar cartoon, Soul. And in that cartoon, there was this absolutely incredible wisdom shared. They said that, so there is a, I'm not going to tell you, please watch it. And the one entity says to the other that the lost souls are the ones that are so obsessed with some singular idea that they forget to enjoy their life. That they forget to enjoy their life. And I absolutely know that I have that not good quality. As I tell to my husband all the time, I have a bouquet of crappy qualities, but I'm willing to self-reflect and change them if they're going to do any good to me or to my loved ones. So I'm willing to change the lens of how I look at things. However, so much of our behavior is subconscious, learned in childhood, and so on. So in that cartoon Soul, it says that the lost souls are the ones who are so obsessed with any idea that they forget to enjoy the life. And what I've learned from the book that will never be published, that it's up to me to enjoy the life. I'm sorry, something happened with microphone. I remember Kenan was saying every time the same thing. You woke up in the morning, you take a breath in, exhale, and say thank you. Thank you for another day. That was the thing he repeated constantly to us. Thank God for the sun, for the tree, for the weather, no matter what weather it is, for the fact that you have a privilege to be alive today. And I'm afraid that most of us dismiss that little tiny fact, that most of us are so preoccupied. And I will give you an example of myself. I'm definitely guilty of that, with the problems that we're obsessed with them. And I myself have been lost soul many years of my life, because I would wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, and the first thing that would hit my mind is what problems I have today. I've been through very turbulent experiences, extremely turbulent experiences in my life, and I would wake up and that was the only thing that would hit my mind. It wouldn't be like, thank you for another day and for opportunity to see my loved ones, kiss them, hug them, serve them, serve my own self, take care of myself, give myself facial massage, enjoy myself physically, enjoy the people that are around me and the existence in general. You know that in the Japanese gravures, when they make those beautiful sakura trees, they have a black background. That black background is there to remind us that there is always death behind us. Not that I want to start talking about death in a new year or after such a horrible year that we had with pandemic, but it's a very good, you know what it is? It's a good idea to address it sometimes, because this is privilege to be here right now with you. I take it as a privilege. I hopefully always will. Hopefully I will always enjoy and remember the value of every breath. Again, going back to Kenan and the book that will never be published. This is privilege. This is a privilege. And we get to dismiss it. So Japanese figured it out. Putting the black color behind the sakura trees on the gravures reminds us of this, that this sakura, it's going to end one day. And I really don't know what's going to happen afterwards. None of us does. Nobody ever came back. But I know one thing, and I do believe that there is a life, because energy, we learn, physics never dies. It goes from one form to another, right? But everybody has their own philosophy, only their own view of it. And I have felt energies before that has already passed this reality. But that, again, it's my thing, and I'm extremely honest in sharing with you what I have experienced in this life, so you can take it however you desire to take it. As going back to the original conversation, year 2020 was ending. And I remember sitting in a car. I was going to my husband. I finished my work, the consultation online, and I wrote to him that I'm coming home and thinking, this year is going to end in few hours. We have dodged the bullet. Thank God we have dodged the bullet. Nobody, we haven't lost any immediate friend or a family or even neighbor. I was so worried about my landlords because they're very old, but they're fine, and I was so grateful for that. In about few minutes, my husband called me, and he was sobbing and crying. And I had to stop the car because I realized that something horrible had happened. And he told me that Kenan, the man that I was just talking about, who wrote the book that we're going to talk more about, has passed away. We did not touch the boat. Losing this man, even for me, for a woman who only know him for 1.5 years, is a huge loss, because the energy of that person was ever so empowering and kind and loving, and he had this incredible ability to enjoy happiness of other people. He has probably still, because I believe that his energy will always be around, this incredible ability to enjoy your, not his, but his loved ones' well-being. One more thing I've learned from Kenan that was very powerful. It wasn't from the book, it was from his existence. I had the quality before, I don't know if you guys had that experience, share with me if you do. I got very scared to over deliver. So I have this quality. I am a people pleaser a little bit, but not that much. If I don't like a person, I'm not going to please that person. So I have to like you to please you. However, I have this, I love to over deliver, and the promise over delivered. That's like, he did that too, by the way. He did it at his work. He was constantly perfecting his recipes and stuff, because he had a restaurant, as I told you, in Brooklyn. But with his friends, he was completely over delivering. He was so giving. He was over giving. He was over caring. And I remember I used to be like him when I was young. But then what happened with the friends, I realized that when you overgive and you give much more than people give to you, the expectation grows. And if there is a moment when you cannot give them all that much, they kind of become upset with you almost. So I got scared of it, and I started to weigh giving and taking, and back up myself, don't allow myself to over deliver, because I was afraid that's going to bring conflict later. Because God forbid, if I cannot do this for you anymore, you're going to be upset with me. What happened? All these years you did it, now you can? So I deliberately started to build a little bit of a distance, not to face the problems later. So when I met Kenan and I saw how over delivering he was, over giving, over loving, I realized, no, it's not such a bad thing. I really can do that again. I just have to be very careful in picking and choosing people I can do it to and who is around me. And one more thing that I've learned from that entity, that it's okay to be that way. It's already embedded in me. So for me not to be that way, I have to back myself up physically, So it's okay to be that way. It's okay to over deliver. You need to know who you're delivering to. And I have to tell you, men who I have knew for 1.5 years have impacted me so much that I'm grieving his loss right now, alongside with my husband who knew him for tens of years, and alongside with everybody who has ever met him. In fact, my kids have met him only twice, and they were devastating to know that he has passed away. The kids of my sister-in-law and brother-in-law adored him, and they still cannot tell the kids yet what happened because they're scared to deliver the information. That impact, that power, that positive power that man had in people's life he's gone. You know that Beyonce song, I Was Here? I've been listening to it because this man was here. And he left. He left very young. He was always joking. He was saying he was 59, 99. So he was hitting 60. He had the heart problems. He passed away of heart attack. But the impact that he has left, the lessons he had taught, not only from his book, but from his being, are overwhelmingly powerful. And what I have also learned, that we have absolutely no choice on when we are going to leave. However, everything else is in our hands. That man chose to wake up every morning, do this, and choose to enjoy it. That was a big deal for him. And I can see now why. I'm so sorry. And the funny thing is, every time I think about him, I want to cry and I want to smile at the same time. Because it was extraordinary entity. Horsey, remember? It relaxes you. Because he was extraordinary entity. And because the impact that he left on us, it will be with us forever. And because this is a privilege. He did ayahuasca ritual a few years ago. He wanted to do one more. He said that it really impacted his life. I don't know about the ayahuasca. I'm sure it did impacted his life. I don't know if I'm going to do it, or even if I want to do it. I have to think about it. But what I really want to do is to forever learn to wake up every morning, inhale, exhale, and say thank you for being here. Because it's so wonderful to be able to see people that we love. After all, this whole life is about human engagements and human connections and human energy. This whole life is about how well we serve ourselves. It's very important never to forget about yourself. As I told you, he was a proud Kurt. And right now we're talking about him. Like, we should be proud of ourselves. We deserve love, we deserve care, we deserve attention, we deserve everything the best. And also it gives us opportunity to impact other people in the most positive way that could change their lives. My way to impact your lives, hopefully in a positive way, is to make these videos. I'm doing it right now, and I will keep continuing learning ways to make my beauties feeling and looking the best they can. That's my thing. His thing was this book that he never published, but he was on the way. As I told you, we have no control on when we're gonna leave, but we have control on how we're gonna live this life. And apparently every day, apparently we should have all known that, but somehow it missed me. We wake up in the morning and we have to make a choice to appreciate every day, to appreciate our loved ones, to appreciate ourselves and our ability to become better, our ability to grow, our ability to get out of the bad situations, because they have that funny thing, the drug, our ability to amplify the good situations, our ability to serve ourselves and our loved ones. And we have choice over that. And that's what I want to start the year with. I didn't mean to start the year with loss, but I don't feel like we're all gonna go. We are all gonna go. And if we're gonna go the way the man did, that people around him are devastated and yet smiling at the same time when they think about him, then we have achieved and accomplished. Then this life, we really made it then, right? It's not, nobody gonna take with ourselves our houses and the cars and jewelry and Balenciaga bags. Why Balenciaga? Because those are my favorite. What we're gonna take nothing with ourselves, but what we're gonna leave behind, that's the most important thing. And if we can make people feel like they are empowered because of us, and they have a smile on their faces thinking about us, that we have achieved. So I want to start this year with thanking God for having this day, and saying farewell to a good friend, and with inviting good energy into my life. I didn't mean to this video to be so sad. I didn't know I'm not going to be able to control my emotions to this extent. However, it was meant to be a positive video. We all gonna go, all of us. But it's how we live. It's all the difference that it makes. Life of that man was very happy, not only because he was happy from everything, but because he also knew how to share happiness of his friends. We had a very small wedding ceremony because of pandemic, and we couldn't do very much, and even to go to park we had to take a license, so we did it home, and he was one of the very, very few people who was there. He was so happy for us. So his happiness, you know, his life, his years, I feel like they were amplified because he knew how to be happy for himself and for others. And I think this is the biggest gift anybody can have in life. So farewell, dear friends. I will definitely use the wisdom that I've learned and try to make this life as happy and impactful and as possible, and serve everybody as much as I can, including myself. And I want to thank you all for watching this video. Let's do it. Let's just make that commitment to wake up every morning. Thank you. And choose to have the best day possible, and do it every single day over and over again. I love you. I thank you for being in my life, and I will see you all in the next video.